Hi, this is Takashino from Jazz Love Japan. It's been a while, but today I just want to talk about the Sawano Kobo jazz series. I already talked about Sawano Kobo and Mr. Sawano and his brother, a long time ago. I don't know how many years, maybe 2 years ago. And I just, talked about the history of the Sawano Kobo. Here in Japan, Sawano Kobo is a kind of unique jazz label, independent label. It's been there, for quite some time, some decades, actually. It's it's almost same like Venus Records. I already talked about, and actually, it's very very unique. It's based in Osaka. And Mr. Sawano has business, not the record label business, but his main business is, the shop for slippers and the sandals. Yeah, that's their main business. And, their family, Mr. Sawano family, has been doing that business for, over 100 years, So it's a kind of unique. But when he was young, together with his brother, he used to collect many jazz records at that time, and he and his brother bought almost all the records available here in Japan. So they're just heavy jazz collectors here in Japan, and they just ended up with doing that business, some decades ago. So that's the start of the, Sawano Kobo. And I just, put the link below in the description here for the previous video that I talked about, history of Sawano Kobo. Maybe, you can just, have a look at it after finishing looking at this video. And today I want to talk about some Sawano Kobo jazz records that I got. I got some, and they are very very unique and very good. So I just want to show you one by one and explain to you about the greatness of those records. First one is this one. Maybe you know this one, this title. As you can see, this jacket design, this is the Donald Byrd in Paris, right? And of course, this is not the original, and this is not the actual, the reissue by the Sawano Kobo. But Sawano Kobo is a distributor, and they put I love this, outer sleeve, transparent outer sleeve with the Sawano Kobo, sticker. Yeah. So they are the distributor of this album. And this is a reissue by the French, jazz label called Some Records. And Some Records reissued this in a great album. And there is the original master, and cutting and the pressing was done in Germany. And amazingly, this pressing quality and sound quality are just great, And also they restored the original label design. Yeah, Brunswick, right? Brunswick label design. And also the sleeve, sleeve is flip back sleeve, and it's very beautiful. Yeah, I was surprised to see that, the finishing, a flip back sleeve. And as I said, the sound quality and the pressing quality are just amazing. They also use the heavy vinyl, 180 gram heavy vinyl, and yeah, everything looks very very good, gorgeous and perfect to me. Yeah, So this is the one. This is the first one, right? And the second one is this one. The Jazz Carriers in concert. And this is a reissue by the Sawano Kobo, and reissue of the Tempo jazz label. This Tempo is a very minor jazz label in the UK, and I sometimes got the other titles like Dizzy Reese, yeah, which I love, and this is one of the Tempo jazz reissue series by the Sawano Kobo. And I didn't know this jazz group, the Jazz Carriers, but very good. And this is as the title goes, this is a live session, and in the 50s. Amazingly, the recording condition is very good, and they use the original master tape, of course, and they restored the original label design, jacket design, and also this again is flip back sleeve, and they just restored everything in a perfect condition. Yeah, I mean in a perfect manner. It's very good, and again they use the high quality 180 gram vinyl. And the cutting was done in France. Yeah, in France. And the pressing was done here in Japan by the Toyokase. So the cutting and also the pressing quality by the Toyokase are just fantastic. So this is again, the gorgeous reissue of a minor jazz title, but great jazz live session here. And the next one is this one. This again is a kind of unique, jazz album. This is called Fire, and Tonu Naiso Trio. And this Tonu Naiso is a jazz pianist in Estonia. Estonian jazz. I didn't know, him until recently, and this one, Fire by the Tonu Naiso Trio, originally was released by the Sawano Kobo in 2013. But Sawano Kobo at that time, they just released it on CD, no analog records like this one. But last year, Disc Union here in Japan, got a license from the Sawano Kobo and reissued on analog, yeah. And yeah, the cutting and the pressing were done at the Toyokase as usual. And amazingly, the pressing quality and the sound quality are just fantastic, and their approach is a simple, jazz trio. I mean, a piano trio album, but very beautiful. I was surprised, and they picked up some, popular titles like Beatles, but they're good. They're good. The arrangement is just fantastic. It's a pure jazz piano trio album. And recording condition. By the way, as I said, this is Estonian jazz. So originally, it was recorded. I mean, the session was recorded in Estonia in 2012, and the recording condition is just amazing. Yeah. So maybe most of the jazz collectors, even here in Japan and outside of Japan, don't know, this album. But it's a great jazz album. I mean, a piano jazz trio album. Yes, and the next one is the same Tonu Naiso trio, R. And again, with this Fire, the concept is the same, almost like the same. But another great jazz album. I mean, piano jazz trio album by Tonu Naiso trio. Yes. And again, this one was released by the Sawano Kobo only on CD. But last year, as I said, it was reissued by the Disc Union on analog. And again, the pressing and cutting were done by the Toyokase. Yeah, amazing jazz piano trio album. And this one is a kind of very, very minor, but a great jazz piano trio album again by the Sawano Kobo. This is a French pianist, René Altrega trio. Yeah. And he was very popular among the heavy jazz collectors here in Japan during the 70s. And his album was sought out, by the jazz collectors at that time, and very, very difficult for you to find it on the market. So that's why Sawano Kobo, they reissued this one, very, very rare one, on the Versailles label in France. And they, again, with the other, titles, the reissues by the Sawano Kobo, they just did try to, restore everything. The jacket design, and this is the flip back, sleeve, and the fonts, and also the label design, everything, everything was just done perfectly. And again, the cutting was done in France, and the pressing was done by the Toyokase here in Japan. And the pressing and the sound quality are just fantastic. Yes. And by the way, this original session was recorded in the mid-50s in France. Yeah. Very beautiful jazz piano trio album. Yes. And the last one is very rare. Roberto also trio. Yeah. The Moon and Bonfires. Yeah, that's the title. And again, together with Tonu Naiso trio, this was released by the Sawano Kobo only on CD. But last year, together with the Tonu Naiso albums, Disc Union, reissued it on analog. Yes. And by the way, Roberto also is an Italian, jazz pianist. And this album is also very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Yeah, the sound quality, pressing quality is just amazing. Yeah. Most of the jazz releases by the Sawano Kobo, they cut the the source basically for the analog records in Paris, because his brother, the Mr. Sawano's brother, married to a French lady, and he most likely is based in Paris, France. So he has the connection with the musicians and engineers in France. So most of their analog cutting was done in Paris, France, and the pressing was done here in Japan. So that's what they usually do. And they released many great jazz, the European jazz. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. And those ones I just showed you right now are just some of those great titles, European jazz titles. Anyway, Sawano Kobo has been there for many decades here in Japan, but sarcastically, not many jazz collectors outside of Japan even right now know But even now they are releasing and producing many original jazz titles, which are great. So in case you don't know Sawano Kobo Japan, maybe it's better for you to dig and get some titles, even on CD. Yeah, they're great. They're great, really. So that's it for today. I hope you like it. Lastly, I always say, just continue staying safe, healthy, and be connected with the music we love, jazz. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.